All right, y'all. Welcome to the next Market Cipher session, and I am super excited to talk about Market Cipher DBSI. This is a new indicator that was recently released for Market Cipher. So, in addition to Market Cipher A, Market Cipher B, Market Cipher SR, we now have Market Cipher DBSI, and this stands for Market Cipher Dual Band Strength Index, and it is an extremely powerful tool that can be combined with all the things that I've been talking about up until this point to help you really find those tops and bottoms. I kind of use this thing as the icing on the cake that will really help me determine if I want to stay in a trade or get out of a trade. Now, let me show you how it works. It can work on any time frame, okay? On the higher and the lower time frames, it works very well. Right now, I've got the 3-hour time frame pulled up, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on Market Cipher DBSI right here. So there's a few things that it has here. First of all, it does have a moving average line, as we can see right down here. We've got a moving average line that turns red and green, and honestly, this thing can really be used as a baseline. If we're on the 3-hour time frame, you can see that simply just by, okay, now I don't recommend you do this, but simply by longing, let's just back test this real quick. And let me turn off all the other lines on the chart. We can see that this moving average here will turn red and green. And basically, it's confirming, just like how Market Cipher A has the moving average that will turn white and blue, this has a moving average that will turn red and green. And just simply by looking here on the 3-hour time frame at this moving average alone, okay, if we just put a vertical line on the chart, whenever we see here, let me turn off some of these levels that I have on my chart here, okay, guys? Sorry, I've got these on for my own personal trading, that I've got going on right now. But I will clean that up. Let's just put a vertical line on the chart every time we see the DBSI indicator go from red to green or from green to red, okay? Sometimes it can get a little intense, right? It happens a lot sometimes. But just want to show you how powerful this thing is. Let's just start right here, okay? If we long when DBSI goes from red to green, we can get a nice 19%. If we short when it goes from green to red, well, then we can get a nice 14%. Again, if we long when it turns from red to green, we can get a nice 5%. In here, if you were only using this indicator only this one line, even still, these tiny little changes right here, you short when it turns from green to red, you could have scooped up a 1.3% move. Again, from red to green, you could have scooped up a nice 2% move. This is a 3-hour time frame, guys, so keep in mind, these are not scalps. You're staying in these trades for hours or days at a time, okay? This is like swing trading I'm talking about. This thing turns from green to red. We come down a nice 16% move, actually more because this was the massive dump. And if you had just stayed here, if you had just stayed in a short position during the whole time this thing was red, you really could have gotten out with a, where's the lowest point right there? A 39% profit, guys. And then this thing again turns from red to green, and what do we get? We get a nice 5% profit. It turns from green to red. What do we get? Potential to make 25% profit, okay? Turns from red to green. What do we get? We get a super nice 21% profit. So just by back testing this on the 3-hour time frame, guys, just using this moving average on DBSI, you can see that you could get into some extremely profitable trades, and just by looking at the 3-hour, you could really make serious money even if you don't have anything else. Okay, even if you're not using Market Cipher B or anything else, you can do DBSI to kind of find those good entries. And you'll also notice that a lot of times DBSI will work together with money flow on Market Cipher B to give you added confirmation, right? So how would you know if a money flow crossover is legit or not? Because a lot of times you could see, like right here, it looks like money flow on Market Cipher B is crossing up into the blue, right? Is money flow crossing up into the blue? You might think, okay, let me go ahead and long the money flow crossover, because a lot of times the money flow crossover is a very powerful thing. But DBSI is telling us, no, don't long yet. Don't long yet. Wait until you see the money flow crossing over and the DBSI turning green before you enter the long. And on the other side of that, Bitcoin, wait for the DBSI to turn red and money flow to turn purple or red, depending on what colors you use, for to enter the short trade. And this is actually a really powerful tool for swing trading. If you're just using DBSI and the money flow crosses together, guys, you can really get into some good swing trade positions here. You can get into some really good swing trade positions. This right here, the DBSI turns red as the money flow turns red. Boom, a nice little short right here. Money flow stays red while DBSI turns green. It'll tell you to get out of the short. So it's actually a pretty nice system. It can be combined with Market Cipher B to get some really, really nice entries. But especially if you're newer, one way you can trade if you're looking for swing trades is really just using this DBSI changing color with the money flow to really just enter some nice relaxing swing trades. And if you're using good risk management, which I've gotten into previously, I will get into more. If you're using good risk management, then you will see that you're actually able to be profitable over time, even if you don't win every trade, even actually if you lose up to 3 out of 4 trades because you have your good risk management in place. We'll get into that in a second. Now, the second aspect of Market Cipher DBSI is what we have right here, where we have these numbers, okay? We have these numbers, and they go from, basically how it works is you will have numbers on the bottom of a candle and numbers on the top of a candle. And this is showing you how much bullish and bearish strength there is per candle. So right now, you might be asking yourself, are we going to come up more from here, or are we going to come up, are we going to come down from here? Well, just by looking at this candle on the 3-hour time frame, we have 17 bull strength and only -5 bear strength, which means there's much more bullish power behind this candle than there is bearish power. And so I could say to myself, if I was in a long position, and I am in a long position right now, in fact, I have already taken out some profit from this long position, massive amounts of profit. Shout out to CryptoFace. This is actually his signal that he gave in the Market Cipher Discord to get into this trade. I was in another long for much lower, but I accidentally closed out the whole position. But it's all good because I have another long open, and I closed it out in profit. But I digress. This is telling me that we're probably going to come up more from here. Now, this works also on lower time frames. And I want to show you something, especially if you're scalping. Okay? If we start to look at the way that the bullish and bearish strength works. Now, just to explain again, guys, we have 2 numbers, okay? If this is our candlestick right here, okay, we have a number on the top, and we have a number on the bottom. Let's say 7 and 18, okay? 7 and 18. This is our candlestick. Let's say we have a wick on the top of the candlestick and a wick on the bottom of the candlestick. The number on the bottom is showing us how much strength the bulls have for this candle. The number on the top is showing us how much strength the bears have for this candle. As we're coming up, you will notice that as we come down to the bottom of a dip, like right here, you will be able to see the bull strength getting higher, okay? When we're at the top, right, we see that the bull strength is 7, and then all of a sudden the bull strength switches into the negative. This is how we know we're probably going to come down a little bit. And then the bear strength is at 7 when we come to the top of this little wave here. And then once we get to the top, notice something. The bull strength goes from 12 to 7, and the bear strength goes from -5 to 0. This is telling us that we're about to get a little reversal, because all of a sudden we see that the bull strength has drastically taken a hit, and the bear strength has gone from -5 to 0. We've seen the bull strength go down 5 and the bear strength go up 5. This is telling us we're coming to the turning point. And then the very next candle, the bear strength goes up 12 points and the bull strength comes down 6 points. This is telling us that we need to come down a little bit. And then once we get to the bottom, look what happens. The bull strength goes from -5, -5, -1, -1, then 0. It starts to get higher. The bear strength starts to get lower, and then the very next candle we have this flip where now the bull strength is getting higher, the bear strength is getting lower, and then at this candle, once the bull strength outweighs the bear strength, that usually means we're going to come up a little bit. On the other side of that, once the bear strength outweighs the bull strength, like this candle right here, this is how we know we're going to come down a little bit. Look what happened right just recently, okay? The bull strength was 18 and the bear strength was -5, okay? Then we started to see the bear strength get a little bit higher, the bull strength get a little bit lower, and right now on this candle, we currently see the bear strength has overtaken the bull strength. And so we can expect that we probably need to come down a little bit. And this can be used in context with Market Cipher B. Again, it's very important to be used in context with Market Cipher B. Look at how Market Cipher B is looking on the 5-minute time frame. Looks like we're about to have the VWAP cross under the 0 line, and it looks like we're about to print a red dot on the on Market Cipher B here, which would mean probably we will come down a little bit. So it's just an added layer of confluence to your trading. And again, this works on higher time frames and lower time frames. And the numbers will change as the candle is printing, okay? I find on the higher time frames, this thing works very well. Now, you can really use this indicator, the DBSI, to get in some really good trades, okay? Some really good trades. Even if you don't have levels of support and resistance marked on a chart, which I recommend you do, okay? Let's check out an awesome long trade setup that you could have made earlier this morning right here, okay? Let's check it out. First of all, did we have a level there? Yes, we did. We actually had the value area high of the range that we had been trading and looking at for quite some time. In fact, I'm recording this video on July 27th, 2021. And, this, we've been saying, is from the dump. Well, it doesn't matter what's happening right now. All that matters is that we have a level of resistance right here, okay? And as we're coming to this level of resistance, the question is, are we going to reject or are we going to break out? Well, you did have a little bearish divergence right here on the 5-minute time frame. So you might think, okay, maybe we're going to come down. But look what happens right here, okay? Right here, we're printing a green dot on Market Cipher B, okay? Now, if you didn't have the DBSI, you might think to yourself, we're coming down because I see the money flow is coming down on the 5-minute, right? I see the VWAP is, well, actually the VWAP is not coming down. But you see the money flow coming down, you see the momentum waves coming down. You might think we're going to come down here. But what is DBSI telling you? DBSI is showing you that we are getting the red moving average crossing into the green as we're getting a green dot, as we're coming above this moving average. And you could have entered long right there, and you really could have gotten a really nice, 3% move from that. A really nice 3% move from that. Let's take a look at some other trades that we could have made just using the DBSI and Market Cipher B. And I know it's hard because when you backtest it, you can't really see the fact that you can't see the numbers printing. They only go back so far. But this was a really nice short. Okay, this was a really nice short that I actually took this short from right here. Actually, I shorted right here. That was a super nice short. Let's see. Let me take a look here in the Discord, actually. By the way, guys, this Discord is separate from the course. You have to go to JaysonCasperTrading.com / I'm sorry, go to Patreon.com / JaysonCasper. My short was from 40,499. I closed out some profit right there, 217%. Yeah, it was pretty epic, right? I was waiting for this. Just looking at Market Cipher B, bearish divergences for me here, right? We learned about this in session 103, just the last session of Market Cipher. But, let's say we wanted to add another layer of confluence to this, and let's say we're just scalping on the 5-minute time frame, or even better, let's go down to the 1-minute time frame. And let's take a look at what DBSI was showing us right here. Okay, DBSI and Market Cipher B, even if we had no levels on the chart, right? That's the thing. Even if our TA is lacking, and the goal of this course is so that your TA is not lacking, right? But even if our TA was lacking and we didn't have this level here, what do we see? On Market Cipher B, on the 1 minute time frame, we have a bearish divergence. We have money flow coming down. We have the VWAP coming down. Okay. And over time, we also have the RSI coming down. So we have a quadruple bearish divergence right here. A quadruple bearish divergence. We see massive drop down on the 1 minute time frame, money flow curving into the red. Okay. As soon as you see this bearish divergence, you're asking yourself, are we really going to come down or not? Well, boom, we get the DBSI crossover. We get the money flow crossover on the 1 minute time frame. We could have entered short right here, okay, on this candlestick, and we could have gotten a super nice 6% move, guys. A super nice 6% move. Actually, you know, if we had stayed in this trade longer, just by using DBSI and Market Cipher B and nothing else, that's how powerful this stuff is, guys. This is a really nice indicator, set of indicators. 7% move, okay, 7% move. Now add into this the numbers, okay? So let's zoom in here and add into this the numbers, right? You know, if you see that, you know, you wanted to take a trade here, you might want to wait until, you know, the DBSI turns green. We get a green dot in the 1 minute. DBSI turns green. We confirm over it. You can enter right here. And then these numbers will tell you, like I was saying before, when we can expect to come down. Notice that when we get to the top, you'll see the bullish strength start to come down, right? The bullish strength 16, 11, 10, 6, 6. All of a sudden now the bullish strength switches negative. This would tell you to get out of the trade if you were scalping, right? If you had entered right down here, let's say, when we come above the DBSI, you would take this up to, you know, right here. Once you see that bullish bearish flip, you would get out of your trade right here, which would have prevented you from coming out of your trade, you know, much lower, right? Depending on how you want to trade. This works on the lower time frames. I find it works very well on the higher time frames, like the 4 hour. Guys, the 4 hour DBSI is just super, super powerful. Okay, look at this. Look at this. On the 4 hour time frame, okay, I love the 4 hour time frame because people didn't know what was going to happen here with this red dot. All right, people were shorting all over the place. In my Discord, people were trying to take shorts before the time, right? Before the time. The time was up here. The time was up here, okay? And, you know, really, it's not until you see that flip where we see the bearish strength getting higher as we come up, right? We print the red dot, but we still are seeing the bullish strength coming up, right? We print the red dot, but the bullish strength gets higher on this candle. It's not until we see that all of a sudden we get this massive flip where the bearish strength comes to 11, okay? And as this candle was printing, you could see that happening. You could see that happening as this candle was printing. It would tell you to get short, and then you could take that down. And then again, we have the bullish strength flipping right here, where all of a sudden we have going from -5 to 2. And you could say, okay, because it's a big time frame, you take that seriously, and you could enter long right here, and you could have made a nice 5% move. Currently, right now, even though we're in a time of indecision, we can't really tell what's going to happen. The 4 hour DBSI is telling us that we have 14 bull strength, only -3 bear strength. And so the way I really like to use this, guys, personally, I like to use it the most on the higher time frames, and especially for getting in bigger positions, long and short positions. I like to use it especially when I see this thing cross over. Now, you can put an alert on here, okay? You can put Market Cipher DBSI. It has 2 entries, right? Long entry, short entry. The long entry is basically telling you when that thing turns green, okay? The short entry is telling you when that thing turns red. And you can set alerts for this so that on the 3 hour time frame, you don't have to be looking at your chart for all day, every day. You simply just wait for this thing to change color, and then you come in here and assess the sitch. Come in here and assess the situation, okay? So that's Market Cipher DBSI. It even works, guys, on the daily time frame. Okay, it works on the daily time frame. Check this out. Look at this, guys. Look at how insane this is. We get this giant flip where the bearish strength goes from 21 to -3 over the course of one candle, and the bullish strength goes from -6 to 19 over the course of one candle. No, you didn't catch the exact bottom, okay? But what you did do is you caught a 27% move, 26.8% move. That is massive, guys. That is massive. It works on the higher time frames. It works on the lower time frames. A lot of people say like the sweet spot is, for like doing day trading and scalping, is like the 12-minute time frame as well. Personally, the way I like to use it the most is if I am already in a trade and I'm questioning, are we going to come up or down from here? I will use it on the smaller time frames. If I'm looking to get in a trade, then I will use this thing on the larger time frames. So that's it for Market Cipher DBSI, guys. I really hope this helps. And I will see you in the next session.